this next section, 1.7, we are going to start talking about something called inequalities. And in this situation, I want you, or in this lesson, by the end, I want you to be able to write, solve, and graph linear inequalities and compound linear inequalities in one variable. So just think like x's only or y's only, okay? So let's just start off with some properties. The first property of inequalities is called the addition property of inequalities. And this right over here is we got this a plus c is less than or equal to b plus c. I'm going to give you an example of kind of what this is talking about. Really what it's saying is, let's say we have 1 is less than 2. We can all agree that 1 is less than 2. Well, if we add to both sides the same thing, let's add 3 to both sides. If we add the same thing to both sides, it will still be less. The left side will still be less than the right side. So here we got 4 is less than 5. See, nothing changed when you add the same thing to both sides. Okay. The same thing holds true for the subtraction property. Here it says a minus c is still less than b minus c if you subtract the same thing on both sides. So let's say we had 1 is less than 2 again. Okay, well let's subtract 3 from both sides. Subtract 3, subtract 3. Let's see if it's still less. Well, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And then 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Well, I know this one looks bigger, but this is still to the less than negative 1. $2 in the hole is worse than $1 in the hole. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next property is the multiplication property. Okay, this is what this one says. If c is greater than 0, then a times c is less than b. If c is less than 0, then a times c, we'll change the sign around. This is what it's kind of trying to get at. So let me give you an example here. Okay, so let's say we have, let's go with our old trustworthy one. Our example is 1 is less than 2, right? We know that's true. Well, let's multiply both sides by 3. Okay, multiply both sides by 3. Let's see if it holds true. So we got 3 times 1 is 3, and then 2 times 3 is 6. Is 6 still greater than 3, or 3 less than 6? Yep, that's true. But that was when c was bigger than 0. Let's try when c is not bigger than 0. Let's see when it's less than 0. So we still got 1 is less than 2. Okay, now let's multiply by negative 3. See what happens. Multiply by negative 3. That's a horrible looking negative 3. So here we got negative 3 over here, and I got negative 6 over here. Now which one's bigger, negative 3 or negative 6? Actually, negative 3 is bigger. So we had to change the sign. Okay, the sign had to flop when we multiplied by a negative number on both sides. And that same idea kind of goes along with the division property. Okay, so let's I might have to change it up for this one a little bit. Let's just say, how about 4? We know that 4 is less than 6, right? Okay, now let's divide both these sides by 2. If we divide both these sides by 2, is the outcome still less on the left? Be less on the left than it is on the right? Let's see. We got 2 is less than 3. Is that true? Yeah, that's true. So when you can divide by a positive number, the inequality stays the same. Now let's try 4. Let's do one where c is less than 0. Check this out. What happens when we divide by negative 2, which is less than 0? We got 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2, and 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. Now which one's bigger? Well, this one's actually bigger, so the inequality has to change around. Okay, so the thing to remember is when you add something to both sides of the inequality or subtract something from both sides of the inequality stays the same. When you multiplying both sides or dividing both sides, it stays the same, unless when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you need to change the sign. Okay, change the inequality sign. Maybe I should have said that instead. So those are just a few properties. We're going to use these properties as we go through this lesson.